Well, you'd be pretty hard pressed to argue that this has been, without doubt, the biggest week of this save so far. The biggest week in Luton Town's history, maybe, as we face Barcelona at Kenilworth Road in our first ever Champions League knockout round game before the League Cup final and a chance at a major silverware. For the first time since 1988, Luton Town are in the League Cup final. This time, though, it's Jose Mourinho's Chelsea, which I'm sure won't be the easiest of challenges. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 54 of this FM06 Let's Retro Save as we are back for what is, well, let's be honest, a pretty blockbuster clash here. Barcelona at Kenilworth Road, then our first cup final. It's a chance for major success and silverware for the first time in this save. We're flying along quite nicely. We've responded pretty well to a disappointing day at Arsenal last time out. And again, we're continuing to get people back to fitness, which is the most important thing at this stage. If you're looking forward to seeing how we get on in these two today, I'm not expecting much, but we have rested everyone against Wigan in the FA Cup. We've got people as fresh as possible. And please do put a thumbs up on the video. It is some way to finish the week and head into the bank holiday weekend as we go and look at one of the biggest double headers I think we're ever going to encounter here. Before we go and do that, though, we need to have a look at what's happened in a few games off camera before all the focus goes on the two games. Because in those three matches, well, two games against Wigan, a relatively lowly laying side, 14th in the league at the minute. Bar having a superstar in Leighton Baines, there's not much in their squad. We beat them 2-0 in the league with Christian Portier coming in and getting a brace in that number 10 position. Oh, we beat Fulham 1-0 as well, which I missed. We were pretty fortunate in that game. It was an own goal by Marcelo in the 28th minute. Obviously won't be there next year because they've got Mike Zonneveld going in, coming from us, but for some reason he wants to go to a relegation battle. We then beat Wigan 1-0 in the FA Cup, Roger scoring the win up for a rotated side in the FA Cup. And between that, we drew 1-1 at Liverpool, and again, fairly fortunate. Peter Crouch scored against his former club. We were battered from start to finish. They had one goal disallowed for offside. We were largely outplayed and we struggled defensively, but Kasper Schmeichel, as you can see, produced a man of the match performance, and that was probably the only difference between that game and the Arsenal one a few weeks earlier. But these two are going to be a little bit more of a test, aren't they? We're in that difficult position of how do we prioritise, but I'm hoping, having rested everyone for 7 days, and with now 4 days between these, we can maybe get away with playing our first team in both. It does mean, though, we're going to have to sacrifice the Everton game after, even though we've gone back to the top of the league. The top two behind us are right up our backside. They'll be fine. They've both got better goal differences as well, conceding far less and scoring similarly. And in Liverpool, if we're being honest, they're going to catch us, aren't they? Even if they don't win their game in hand, we're eventually going to come unstuck. So the fixtures are definitely catching up, which is a problem. We've obviously got an FA Cup quarter-final on the horizon. We're waiting for the last time that. There's also a lot of replays there. But the one thing I would suggest when you look at this FA Cup draw, and the reason I've come to show you it, there's not many big boys left because United, despite battling relegation, have put Arsenal out. And otherwise, you've got Spurs and Bolton in that chase for the top four, but none of the top sides are in there. So I'm looking at this and thinking, if we fail in the League Cup today, do we have to throw all our eggs in the FA Cup basket? Because to win that competition would really be something else. We're not going to worry about domestic football for now, though, because the first challenge is Barcelona today. At home, one of 4 English sides taking part in the knockout stages. Chelsea have Betis, a slightly easier Spanish opposition. Arsenal travel to Turkey and Liverpool to the holders Juventus. For us, though, it is Barcelona, who are a bit more star-studded than the Real Madrid side we faced a few weeks ago. We've built the fitness back up. Most people are in good nick. So let's get our 11 picked. We'll be back in a minute to run through it. Well, here we go then. Crucially, we are back to our first choice defensive three. Davis, Basagno and Vandenborg all reunited. Kasper Schmeichel behind them has had some brilliant games and some poor ones recently. The only slight fitness issue is Diaz at right wing back, not because he's been injured himself in the last couple of weeks. He did have that knock after Arsenal, but he's been back for 2 or 3. The problem is that we've been without Foley and Keane, so he's had to play every match, including the FA Cup tie at the weekend. Zonneveld's on the left-hand side. De Cassie is in alongside Flamini, with Freddie Guarin on the bench after a slightly poorer run. Portilla keeps his place after 2 good games, and as you may have noticed, of the 4 new signings, we could only put 3 replacements in the Champions League squad anyway. John Obi Mikel would have been one of them. He was ineligible, having played in the competition already for Manchester United. So, or it might have been the Europa League actually, because the rules were a little different back then. But either way, we couldn't register him. So the other 3 have been put in. My preference would have been to leave one of the left wing backs out and to play Mikel, but not to be. So Portilla starts ahead of Maloney. And then up front, we've gone for Gabby Agbonlahor, largely due to the absence of Shane Paul and the fact that Theo Walcott is just back from injury and not fit at all. He's really struggled to stay fit for the last 2 years and might be the man we have to sacrifice this summer. But he's alongside 22-goal striker Peter Crouch, who continues to be in decent form. And with Roger on the bench pretty much flying behind him, we've got some good options in attacking areas. It's a stronger bench than we've probably ever named before, despite the fact we've got key injuries. So it shows the progress we're making as a club. But is it enough to cope with the greatness of Barcelona? Now, of course, the one thing we don't have to cope with in this Barcelona team is Leo Messi, because he's obviously gone to Liverpool very early in the save and has been there ever since. But in a weird, twisted turn of events, Barcelona in this universe have Cristiano Ronaldo on the right-hand side of their midfield. So they've still got one of the 2 superstars of the generation, just maybe not the one you expect. Of course, all eyes are on the centre of midfield. Xavi and Iniesta, still the combination. Iniesta, only 26 here, is, bar natural fitness, world class. And Xavi is just an absolute machine. And again, natural fitness the only letdown, but at 31, still going pretty strong. Then you add into the mix that they've got the likes of Valdez, Puyol, Marquez, Clichy, Motta, Samuel Eto'o still going up front at 29. Perfect pace, perfect finishing. This is going to be a pretty brutal evening, I think. But let's just go and get into it. We're up against a proper star-studded team, one of the best in world football. I mean, Ronaldinho's on the bench. They're leaving Ronaldinho on the bench. They're taking the mick out of us. They're showing disdain for the quality in our side. So they've got one of the best players of the world from 2006 to just pop on off the bench if they need to. With 7 minutes gone, the fact that it's still 0-0 is a real positive for me. Looking at former Barca players as well, Juventus are beating Liverpool. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is the man who's got the goal there. He's an absolute superstar too. So I don't think we're going to be going all the way in this competition. As early doors, it's Kasper Schmeichel again, forced into a brilliant save. I've got a feeling he's going to have to play like he did in the Liverpool game a couple of weeks ago if we're to have any chance of getting any result out of this game. I'm not even worried about winning a tie. I'm just thinking, can we nick a result at home somehow? That would be something special in itself. Puyol has beaten Crouch in the air though, as Van den Boer can start another attack. We're keeping some nice possession there. 2 very different styles. We're aiming for Peter Crouch's head, and Puyol seems to be aware of that. As Zonneveld, beaten to it by Puyol again. A Ronaldo dribbling around in his own box. Clearance gets far though, and now Davis can bring it down. That's terrible English. But Rodrigo Diaz goes from distance, and Gabby Agbonlahor on the rebound. Who cares if my sentences are all over the place? Look at the scoreline. Luton Town 1, Barcelona 0. Who needs Ronaldo? Who needs Eto'o? Who needs Puyol, who's now injured? And who needs a midfield 2 of Xavi and Iniesta? Get the ball to Gabby Agbonlahor, and you have got a chance in a Champions League. Portilla, the Spaniard, knocks the ball on there. And while I'm sure this will be short-lived, though, hang on. Agbonlahor's nicked it again. He's 1-on-1. Surely not. Crouch. Oh, my God. It's 2-0 to Luton. What is happening? We've only left our half of the pitch twice. And we're 2-0 up in the Champions League last 16. Agbonlahor and Crouch are demolishing Barcelona. Long throw into Eto'o. That's a great effort. But for the second time, Kasper Schmeichel has made a magnificent save. Nearly a quarter gone. You could not have dreamt it going this well. Xavi with a free kick. Good save, Schmeichel. In my wildest dreams, I would not have had us 2-0 up in this game. Incredible. Though we've picked up a knock with Basagno. Gonna have to be careful with that. Portilla to Flamini. This could get better, you know. Long ball downfield towards Flores. I didn't even look to see how good young Flores was, because the rest of the team was so strong. Crouch up against Puyol, wins it. Portilla down, goes for the shot. Agbonlahor again. This is ridiculous. This is genuinely ridiculous. Luton 3, Barcelona 0. And you've seen this lineup. This is an astonishing Barca team. We've been the second best team. We've just scored rebounds. Oh, God, Agbonlahor again. Where on earth has this come from? Now, the problem is when we play well in the first game, we normally throw in an absolute awful performance in the second, which worries me for the League Cup final. I'm going to bring Leonardo on for Nick Basagno because we don't want to risk that injury for too long. But, I mean, we've only really had the 3 chances. Although it says we've had 6 shots on target, though I guess 2 of them were rebounds, so technically that would be 5 anyway. It's been an even match and we find ourselves 3-0 up. I think what I'm almost more impressed with is the fact that we've given up very few chances. Schmeichel's made 2 good saves and 1 comfortable one. For 3 chances against this Barcelona team, I would say is a pretty special effort. Into the second half, we're now almost grateful for the Shane Paul injury because Gabby Agbonlahor has had his moment of arrival. De Cassie plays to Davis and we start again with the long ball. I'm almost in too much disbelief to enjoy this properly. Although I know that it can go very wrong. We saw against Arsenal in the last episode, if we switch off for half an hour, we can concede 3 just as quick. Though Diaz gets it from Agbonlahor, who's having a game of his life, and gets to the byline into Portilla. Crouch almost gets the rebound. Now it's Valdez's turn to be the hero. Eto'o fouls Leonardo. I mean, it's just dreamland, this stuff. We've come out in the second half. We've had a big chance immediately. And we now seem to have deflated one of the best teams in world football as De Cassie goes from distance and forces another good save. It's now Victor Valdez keeping Barcelona's faint hopes in this tie alive. And I know we could go to the Nou Camp and lose 5-0 very easily. But we've got to enjoy this night for what it is as Agbonlahor's in. It might not matter soon. He scored a hat-trick. I'm running out of words. Gabby Agbonlahor, take a bow. It's 4-0 to Luton Town. Please, lads, just keep on to it. Clichy shot goes over. I mean, if they're relying on the left-back to go for a half volley from 25 yards, then we're doing something right as we've got a throw on the right-hand side. This could end up... Oh, Marquez has just given a penalty on Crouch. What is happening? We are demolishing the best side in the world, bar Juventus in this game. Peter Crouch steps up right-footed. It's 5-0. Did anyone see this coming? Because I'll tell you something. I would have predicted if we played Barcelona 4 times, we wouldn't score 5 goals. I'm going to make a change, but I'm not going to go crazy at this point. There is no point us taking too many chances. We're going to go Flamini off for Guarin. And then I am tempted as well to rest someone for the weekend. I think Peter Crouch would be the man in a few minutes, so I'll take him off for Roger. But I want to give him a chance at his hat-trick. Both of the strikers struggling a bit. Walcott's maybe not as fit. So I think Roger coming on, it's a fair moment for him. Get his Champions League debut. As Agbonlahor goes back to Vandenborg, and it's a big ball downfield to Crouch. Surely there's no more goals in this one. Crouch swings it in unselfishly to the back post. Valdez makes a mess of it, mixes up with Gabri. And Guarin recycles possession as it's cleared downfield. Leonardo to Diaz. I mean, I just hope Basagno's fit for the cup final. That's one thing from this. As Agbonlahor's in again. Oh, it's nearly 6. One of the most astonishing nights of football I can ever remember in any FM save. I mean, we're a good side now. I said this, the Arsenal game was a blip after 10-11 brilliant performances against average teams. But we're a good side, but this is silly. We've beaten Inter and Real Madrid at home this year, but they were 1-0 in games where we were second best. We had to be at our best defensively. We had to produce our usual display. We're not a team, as you've seen in the Premier League, that goes and wins by 4, 5 or 6 very often. As Eto's put one miles wide. That was his first big chance of the match. We're not a team that normally blows people away, even average sides. Crouch is going to come off for Roger here. He'll get his Champions League debut. And this night, if we can avoid conceding in the next 8 minutes, is the best performance I think I will have ever had in Football Manager. Ronaldinho came on with 20 to go. We haven't even noticed him. That's how little part they've played. It is Luton 5, Barcelona 0. Is that our biggest win of the save? I just want to have a look here. Is that the biggest win we've had in any game? Look at all the other Champions League ties and then look at that. Nick Basagno's not got an injury either. It's the perfect night. Gabby Agbonlahor gets a hat-trick. I mean, you've earned your place in the team for the final on Sunday. I've just got to have a quick glance. Have we ever won a game more than 5-0? We beat Oldham 5-1 in the cup with our rotated side. We beat Olympiacos 5-1 early in the season. Friendlies don't count. Just going to go back here. I don't think we've ever won a game by that many. Oh, we beat Villa 6-0 in the league away from home, didn't we? That weird first half. But they were down to 10 men for most of the game from 2-0. Against 11 men, we definitely haven't. I'm sure of it. Unless we've got a really old championship game or something that's completely gone from my memory. I'm just trying to find a justifiable reason. Our second biggest win ever in the save. The biggest ever win against a team with 11 men. And it's Barcelona with Xavi, Iniesta, Cristiano Ronaldo, Samuel Eto'o, Rafa Marquez, Gael Clichy, Carlos Puyol, Victor Valdez, and the list goes on and on. Thiago Motta. I don't know how to justify it. We're back on Sunday for the League Cup final. And I just hope, I wish we'd saved a couple of goals for that one, because I really want to win a trophy. But even if not, I don't think we can call this episode a failure now. Back on Sunday as we head to Wembley for our first chance at major silverware. Well, we're slipping down the Premier League table with other teams winning. Arsenal are now top of the tree. But it's a battle of what is currently second v third, I think, as Luton face Chelsea. 1 point has separated us over the season. How did we do in our head-to-head games? I can't actually remember. We must have played them once. Oh, we won 3-1 away there, didn't we? But Dean Ashton scored and he's no longer here. Rodrigo Diaz will be struggling physically and Freddie Guarin is out of form. So probably not too much to read into that in a minute. Have we played our second league game yet? No, not till right at the end of the season. God, we've got a rotten running, haven't we? Let's go and have a look at the team for today. We're obviously not going to proceed like that. Basagno is fit. Not quite 100%, but fit enough to play in a cup final, I'm sure. The rest of the team is in pretty good nick. Agbonlahor struggling a little, but there's no way I'm dropping him. And then the only other decision is Shane Paul is 82%. He's just back from injury. He's our second top scorer this year. Do I throw him in? Maloney scored goals against the lower league sides, but he's probably not at this level. We've got to trim the bench to 5. We know that Walcott is just about there if we want him. And he has scored big goals for us before, but we've got to make the big decisions now. And this is where we get paid the big bucks, because we're going to go Leonardo, Santos, Guarin, Roger. And then is it going to be Maloney, Walcott or Paul? We're going to go, John Obi Mikel as well, but he's still got a little bit of a knock at the minute. We're going to go Walcott. I'm going to trust my instincts. He's played, 2 games? 5 games since about September because he's been injured throughout. He came back for a couple and then struggled again. But we're going to give him the chance here. He scored big goals before and he's going to be on the bench if we need him. Hopefully it won't be a worry. We've got Crouch and Agbonlahor scoring goals galore with the same 11 that played in midweek against Barcelona. I'll take another 5-0, lads. Let's see if you can deliver it. Well, here is the team. It's a bit of a weird lineup because they've got Michael Essien out on the left-hand side. I mean, he's a natural right midfielder as well, and he's competent everywhere. So he'll probably just rotate with Joe Cole. They're normally one of those teams that switches wingers. I mean, they've got a ridiculous side. They've signed Joseph Yobo, who's involved defensively. But it's one hell of a team. João Moutinho in the middle. Defoe up front getting a go. But Joe Cole, you've got Moutinho, you've got Carvalho and Terry still the centre-halves. And Peter Cech, the star man in goal. But the Barcelona team look just as good. This, though, is Jose Mourinho in a cup final. And not many teams come out on top against him here. They've got a couple of stars on the bench as well. Julio Baptista, one of them. As Cole gets down the right. It's a good start for Chelsea. And Defoe beats Basagno to it. Not quite fresh. But thankfully, it's away. Cleared after a Schmeichel save. And now Flamini can get us on the attack for the first time. Finds Davis. Flamini again. Space to run into. De Cassi goes wide to Zonneveld on the left. He cuts inside. He's beaten Martins and he's beaten Moutinho. Delivers a great cross. Portia's offside. Carvalho had dealt with it anyway. The first sign that we can cause a little bit of a threat going forward. It's just whether we can find that ruthless streak. I feel like we've used all our goals up on Barcelona. As Joe Cole gets it on the right-hand side. Good ball in towards Burton. Basagno away. Crouch can knock it down. And now Portia has a chance to break as Crouch looks for Agbonlahor. He didn't gamble, and Yobo, although Carvalho's missed it. Agbonlahor, round Peter Cech, he's doing it again. This is the week where Gabby Agbonlahor establishes himself as a world-class superstar. 3 against Barcelona, and now the opener in a League Cup final. Beats Yobo for pace. Out-muscles Carvalho, and outwits Peter Cech. It's not a bad trio to tick off, is it? As Van den Boer finds Rodrigo Diaz. And we're on the charge again. Del Horno with a challenge, but only as far as Agbonlahor, who's there again, twisting and turning. He's all over people. Crouch beaten to it by Terry, but it's only away as far as Pierre de Cassie. I really didn't see these performances coming as it's up towards Crouch again, knocks down. Burton clears downfield. Who would have thought it? A man who, let's be honest, if everyone was fit, Agbonlahor would not have started the first game. The Shane Paul injury has led to a masterstroke. I can't take that much credit. It's like when Redknapp got lucky with Bale, wasn't it? Injuries forced him in and he became a star. As De Cassie loses out, Diaz wins it back. We're all over them. This is superb. De Cassie finds Vandenborg. Big ball towards Crouch. You know the game plan. Flicks on for Portia. Great save, Agbonlahor. Oh, brilliant from Peter Cech. The rebound's not in this time, but he's there. Every time the ball falls in the box, Agbonlahor is there. Zonneveld delivers. Davis is bringing it down. Not really what we were aiming for there, but with half an hour gone so far, it is so very good for Luton Town. Is 1988 going to repeat itself? Is Major Silverware on its way for the first time in 2.5 decades? We're about to find out as Peter Crouch loses out in the air there. Downfield as far as Davis. SEN chasing. You can see they've switched wings there as we predicted. Flamini will look for the long ball, but instead plays short to Zonneveld. He just charges over halfway. Finds Peter Crouch. Portia's making that run beyond again. Here he is. Agbonlahor's in the middle. Portia looks for him. Oh, great save. Agbonlahor gets it away again. And Peter Cech is there to the rescue. He's had a super game up there. Not sure how Crouch's rating is 6. But at half time, I'm not changing a thing. Basagno's been a superstar. Great to have him fit. And I'm so pleased with the performance. This is what happens when most of your team is fit. Baptista is on for Yobo. That's going to be a change, surely. Yep, they've gone 4-4-2. Now we've got to be very careful because there's 2 up front. And Basagno will not be able to deal with it alone as Crouch gets it from Agbonlahor. Does mean there's space at the back for us. But SEN gets there after Moutinho clears away. Davis finds Portia though. De Cassie to Diaz. Agbonlahor can't reach it. Now Joe Cole brings away down the left-hand side. Space to run into, and now 2 in support. Baptista finds Defoe. Flicks on, Basagno's there. Can he get it away? Flamini combines with him. Zonneveld up towards Crouch. John Terry a bit too strong for him in the air this time. But with an hour gone, we're edging closer, and I'm starting to sniff it now. But you know it's a long way away against a team of this quality, as Vandenborg wins it off Defoe. Terry's beaten Crouch again. Becoming a concern that maybe I bring on Roger just to give the extra pace in behind. Give Terry a threat he doesn't like. As Vandenborg intercepts across brilliantly. Away as far as Agbonlahor, who to be fair, doesn't even try to take on Carvalho this time. Just flicks it round the corner. And with just over 15 to go, I'm going to think about changes. My only worry with the Crouch sub for Roger is that he is the best penalty taker if we end up in extra time and pens. SEN's beaten by Crouch there though. And surely I've got to think about the here and now. Terry finds Joe Cole. Let's see out this highlight and then we'll make the decision. Big ball towards Baptista. He wins it. Moutinho goes down the left-hand side. Forced all the way back to Cech. That's brilliant from De Cassie and Portia. And a long ball forward towards Martins is intercepted by Zonneveld. He's got Crouch running off him. He just keeps it for a while though. Finds the ball eventually. Portia's in the middle. Does Crouch need him? He's a bit slow again. I think it's time. We're just waiting for the end of this highlight, but it's never coming as Burton picks it up on the left. One of the best youngsters in British football. Finds Baptista. Chelsea are in. This is a rare attack for them. But what a tackle from Nick Basagno. That's as good as a goal. Corner kick for Chelsea. Please don't equalise now. Carvalho just wide, but beats Crouch in the air. It's definitely time for him to come off. Schmeichel waiting for the goal kick. And it'll be Crouch replaced by Roger. This is why we strengthened the squad in January. Let's hope it pays off now. I'm tempted as well to go Guarin for Portia and go to a defensive midfield setup. I've no other number 10, so I don't want to do it too early. For now, we'll stick with that one. We'll make another one in 5 minutes. Just 15 minutes separate us from the perfect week and from our first major trophy. As Zonneveld loses out in the air, it falls for Curtis Davis, who's just allied on that for Defoe. And Joe Cole wins it back, but Basagno is there again. What a day to step up. Terry's having the same success against Roger in the air there. Moutinho shoots from distance. And it's wide at the post. We can live with that. Can we get through a few more minutes before making another sub? Then I will go defensive. Andy D'Urso. Why is he doing the cup final? Jeez. Right, let's get Guarin on for Portia. we're going to go. I don't know who's actually the best in the centre of midfield. It probably is Guarin. I don't think any of them are that natural, though. Or De Cassie maybe is the man who can go forward. No. So what we're going to do is we're going to go sort of to the shape that we used to do before. Because they're playing 4-4-2, we can then mark both of their centre midfielders. De Cassie will just stay in that holding role. And he's just going to sit there, be a sort of little base between the midfield and the defence. And then we're going to put Flamini as a standard midfielder. We're also going to do the same with Guarin, but let him have a long shot if he wants. Not as many forward runs. I think we've reached the point of the game as well where I'm allowed to time waste a bit more. I think we can get away with that. And then do we push our style back a little bit? I don't really want to take a backward step because I don't know if we can cope with them defensively. So I think for now, we're just going to do that. Take a bit longer on the kicks. Go a little bit more defensive in terms of our midfield setup. Because you remember the early Premier League years, we drew a lot of big games 0-0 doing that. But with 5 to go, Chelsea will throw everything at it. It's a long ball forward, which Van den Boer intercepts, but it's only away to their midfield. Basagno loses the header. O'Leary's in. It could be 1-1. Good save. De Cassie's there first on the rebound. There's the extra midfielder. O'Leary was offside anyway. No one was to know. Let's go and make the final change. There are 4 minutes plus stoppage time. Agbonlahore's knackered. He's got to go. He might have scored the winning goal, but Theo Walcott is going to get his return. And what a minute to play in a cup final. Here we are with 3 plus stoppage time. And Kasper Schmeichel has a goal kick. High up the pitch and nearly gives it away. Oh, Basagno clears downfield. Del Horno back to his keeper. Check with the big kick forward. They've got loads up there. Guarin intercepts though and Roger's in. This is the moment. Roger round the keeper and it's a great save from Czech. Martin's out for a throw. I want to get the fullbacks back because they've gone 4 up front. I don't want us to be exposed here, but we're not getting a chance to make the change. Guarin inside to Davis. What's Curtis Davis doing up there? Flamini puts it over. The 90 minutes are up. How many are added on? We'll find out in a second. But for now, Zonneveld and Diaz, you get back there. You do not need to be going forward anymore, lads. No forward runs from you. Please, boys. Please see out these couple of minutes. We're going to drop the mentality slightly. And that is our final change of the match. Will it be enough? How many minutes have we got? We didn't find out. We're 1 minute into whatever is added. And Julio Baptista's done really well. He's dropped in and forced the fullback out of position. But Guares intercepts it deep. De Cassie finds Roger. Oh, he's got support, but the touch is heavy. Flamini wins it back, though. Walcott up against Carvalho. De Cassie should be the extra man in there and wins it. Walcott's got Roger in support. Instead goes wide to Zonneveld. Probably a sensible choice, that. Out to Roger on the left. Cuts inside. Brilliant play. Flamini shoots. 2-0. Luton Town are going to win silverware at Wembley. The League Cup final is going to go to Luton Town. For the first time since 1988, a major trophy. An aggregate score against Barcelona and Chelsea in this episode of 7-0. And we've made our second Wembley appearance in this save. The first one was a stunning performance against Ipswich in the cup final, or the playoff final, sorry, in the championship. And that one is Luton Town 2, Chelsea 0. What a week. I'll be honest with you, I didn't see this coming. I would have taken 1 draw out of this episode, let alone 2 victories, 2 clean sheets, and 7 goals. Incredible. One of the greatest FM episodes I've ever had. And that's why we went to retro. And that's why it's great FM25 didn't come out. What a performance from these boys. And now you've seen the FA Cup draw. You've seen how many of the big boys are out. Is there an opportunity for more? If we have a look at the league table, of course Chelsea weren't in action, but we're still up in the mix there. Liverpool closing the gap. The top 4 separated by 5 points. We're into the FA Cup quarter-final. We've just taken the mick out of Barcelona in the Champions League. It is surely the greatest episode we will ever have in this save. If you did enjoy it, I know some of you like to see me struggle. You got it last time against Arsenal, but what a response here. Then please do put a thumbs up on the video. It's a bank holiday weekend, so we'll be back on Tuesday. Probably about 4 more episodes to finish off this season as well. And then we'll make a decision based on what we achieve. But that is going to be a very hard feeling to top. If you want to stay up to date and see how this season goes, whether we can make any more history along the way, then subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll have stream replays over the weekend from LMA Manager 2003, and we'll be live on Twitch with new versions of it too. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Do check out the podcast channel for all of our EFL playoff final previews too. And I'll see you back here next week as we look to build on two of the greatest games I think I'll have ever had playing Football Manager. I'll see you next time to see if we can add to it yet further.